The cliffhangers continue. Welcome back. Okay, so your elevator pitch to Kev, you've planned it all. You go and meet the guy. Tuendele.
So I tell Kev, I want to do a movie. I start going into a long story about a script. Because when I told him about the movie, he lit up. And then, so I thought, okay, I have more time. So I started telling him about, I've started with the point of getting scripts. And then I explained the four elements that I thought were challenges that need to be sorted. So I told him I've started with story. The next is production. And production means equipment. And you have equipment, so can we work together on this? But he was so quick to say, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Because Kev is that guy who, and I think that's why I cope very well with him. Like, if he sees something, like, I think both of us, we don't even start by calculating money. It's more of passion. Like, let's do it and see where we go. So he told me, whatever I have there in the store, you can take.
I don't think people understand just how pivotal Kev was to the success of the film.
Yes.
Explain to people may know Kev from film studios. I'm not sorry, people for more sound.
Yes.
Now there's maybe a new generation who just knows Kev from actually there's guys who know you from More Sound. Then there's guys who know Kev from Groove Awards.
Yes.
Then there's guys who know Kev from Energy Radio.
Yes.
But Kev acquired film studios.
Yes. And now, film studios is one of like the oldest film companies in Kenya. Like a lot of films done, not just in Kenya, in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Rwanda. Get equipment, even up to this day, get equipment from film studios, because he has the warehouse with a lot of equipment. He has those huge generator trucks, you know, and the warehouse is huge. A lot of the first shows, like was Patricia Amira show done there. Yeah, a lot of those shows which were done a lot by the South Africans who would come to Kenya for DSTV, shooting Kenyan shows. Yes. A lot of them were shot there. A lot of international filmmakers would come and get, Yes. So for Kev to say, I'll give you whatever I have in that store, all you need to do is to pay the people who operate them. That was a huge plus. Huge. It was huge. Because that would have cost you millions of shillings. Yes. Yes. Very easily. So for him to just say that, and then he even said, when the movie comes out, we have more sound. Like, if you need to do screening, we have more sound, we have the screens, we have the sound, we have stage, and we have a radio station. We can do publicity, you know. Yeah, that's huge. So that was huge. So as soon as Kev said that, like, the way he gave me that response is, you know, those 3 words, say no more. That was him. Like, that's basically what he said, say no more. It's more of, done. It's done. When you need to, alert me. I call so-and-so and tell them to expect you and tell them to give you whatever you want. So now what did that do to you? Were you like, okay, you know, it's one thing to know scripts. But in your back of your head, you're always thinking, where am I going to get the money to shoot this thing at the quality that I want to shoot it? Because it's one of your pillars. So now, let me even take you back. You see what you're saying? I don't even know that, because I don't know what it takes to shoot. So I don't know what it takes in terms of equipment or people to shoot. Wow. You're like a junior going to operate. Kabisa. But at least I know there is equipment that is needed. And it's film studios. Wow. You know. So clearly, you know. Wow. But then I started seeing it, like now when I went back to Faith and Sarah and I told them, film studios is in, so anything we want from film studios. And even just from their facial expressions, you could tell that was a huge relief. That's a big deal. Yeah. It's like even me when I'm hearing you saying that, I'm like, what? That, honestly speaking, is one of your biggest expenses. Yeah.
Okay.
So we continue with Sarah and Faith. So we used to meet.
Did
like,
you know Sarah before?
I
Did
don't
you-
think I knew her personally.
You knew of her.
Wait, I knew of her. Then maybe if I'd met her before, maybe just one of those industry things, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm actually not sure. But I know at least we bonded well when we met through Philip, because they knew each other with Philip.
Okay.
You know. So we went on having meetings, just planning. But then the scripts that I was getting, so here's the other thing about me. Especially initially, I was not very good at knowing what's a good script. So I would get a script and get a bit excited, and we start working on it. But then a pillar in my life that's very key, and that's my wife. I take something to her, she doesn't see it, then I know. Then I take to Lucas also, he looks at it, doesn't see it. So I go back to the drawing board, I tell Faith and Sarah, this one, By that time, I don't realize what's happening also, because I'm spending money. By the time I did my maths, I'd spent 600,000 shillings.
What?
Yes. I didn't realize it.
On just scripts?
Yes. And you see, it used to be, sometimes we'd go and do a gig with Nyash. Then, you're paid in cash. Or something. Sorry, Carrie. So, I have some thousands in my pocket. Then I meet someone and he sells me this idea, and I'm like, nice. Then he tells me deposit, then, you know. And it didn't hit me till later on that I'd spent that much money.
Give me an understanding of, like, for example, what kind of prices were people asking for scripts?
Anywhere between 20 and 80.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So depot is a 10 G's gone here. If it's 80, that's for 20. That's the lowest.
Yeah.
All the way to here's a 40 G's. Go and start. Okay.
Yeah.
And or here's the full amount. Here's a 50 G's for your script, but you're shelving it.
Yeah.
Pesa ya Nyash ilikuwa poa.
Na pesa ya Coca-Cola.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. My wife used to laugh at me those days, like, hey. Yeah. You know, like, short of saying, pesa inakusumbua. But for me, I was looking at it like, I'm enjoying so much. Like, I was really enjoying myself. Like, going through that process, I was enjoying myself, because I was also learning. You know, learning how scripts are written. Now, it's there where you get, so someone is presenting to you a script. Then they tell you things like story arc. Then they tell you, so story A is this, story B is this. You know, you just start understanding all those things. The structure of a story. You start understanding all. So for me, as much as I was spending money, I was learning.
Yeah, I get it.
But then, at some point, I was like, I know this is not working out. So I called a friend of mine called Jason Runo. So I asked Jason
The
Runo.
B-man.
Yes. I asked Jason Runo, do you know someone who is a good script writer? So he tells me, call Yafesi. So I call Yafesi.
It's okay.
Yes, I call Yafesi. Yafesi tells me, I'm busy with a script or some work that I'm doing, but let me hook you up with someone. So then he hooks me up with this guy called Frank Maina. So I go and meet Frank Maina. I meet him at the Java at Hurlingham. So I go, I meet him, I explain to him what I'm looking for, and I give him a proper brief. Then he tells me, I think I've understood you. The beauty of it is he didn't ask me for money. Then now this is how I started learning what my process should have been before. So what you do is you ask for a one-pager. So the one-pager has two things. It has a log line, which is like one sentence to describe the film, then a synopsis, something that interests you in the movie but doesn't give it away. So he gave me a one-pager for 40 sticks. I read it. I was like, this is it. But then I decided, let me contain my excitement. I gave Lucas, I gave my wife. Even them, they came back, they were like,
This is it.
so see, I got excited. Frank, let's meet. Yeah, Frank, we meet. So Frank now tells me, now, to do this, I'll need to work, me and a colleague of mine who we work together, she's called Volin. I say, more heads to make this even better. Sawa, twende. So we sit down. The figure that Frank gave me, imagine on the back of spending 600K, and so that it's not taken out of context, allow me not to say how much he told me.
No problem, yeah.
I was like, F it. This movie industry doesn't make sense. I said, F it. Wacha ikae. Hii movie industry makes sense. Wacha ikae.